So I saw Morbius, yep, and honestly, to be real, I don't know why people are hating this movie.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Like, to be honest, I really enjoyed this movie, and no, that's not because I'm just an emo goth metalhead who likes a little too much goth noir fiction. No, it ain't that either, bro. Like, I just like that this movie took itself serious 100% of the way through. And honestly, if you hate that, then I don't know what to tell you, bro. Because, like, there was barely any jokes. I know a lot of people be like, oh, you just like depressing stuff, you goth bastard. Well, it's not even just that. It's just like, I get so sick of the MCU formula. Like, even with the Moon Knight, as good as the episode was, they still played it a little too safe for me. Especially with a character like Moon Knight, I find it a little bit disrespectful. He's dark, he's gritty, even though he wears all white, triggering me. But it's just like, to me personally, they still had to like skirt around the darker tones. They skirt around the more serious things by adding a lot of humorous music, and it's just not necessary. But this Morbius, I love the fact that they took themselves serious. And honestly, it's not even just that they took themselves serious. I honestly need to say something, bro, because there's a lot of hate going around for this movie, and I hate the fact that Sony didn't have enough faith in this movie by itself. Because yeah, Sony will have to reap what they sow when it came to the freaking all of the little nods they tried to pretend to throw in the movie with the trailers. And yes, they could be misleading, but let's not forget the MCU does that all the time. Like, they edit their trailers and what's actually seen and everything. Let's not forget we were supposed to get Hulk again in freaking Infinity War, but we didn't get it. Okay, so let's not do that. But at the same time, yeah, Sony may have went a little bit overboard. Like, they stuffed so much Spider-Man in there, you would have thought Andrew Garfield was in this movie. So, yeah, the movie follows Dr. Michael Morbius on trying to heal his rare degenerative blood disease along with his childhood friend. And obviously, he finds a quote-unquote cure, if you can call it that. And he discovers vampirism in the process. And, of course, he becomes a vampire. His friend getting jealous because, yeah, he's not dying and he sees it as not fair. And honestly, I get that, self-preservation over everything else. And that's the thing, a lot of people will look at the actions of what he's doing and be like, oh, it's selfish. But at the same time, most scientists, they kind of do the same thing, trying to find a way to preserve human life and all that goodness. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that to that. But I will say this, could they have developed the friendship a little bit more? Yes. I'm not gonna lie to you, that was a little weird. Like, I was believing it, yeah, suspension of disbelief and all that, but it's like they barely showed their bond outside of like a couple scenes, and I feel like we do need more than that. Like, it's just kind of strange to me how they decided to go about that. Like, they could have had something really compelling. They could have given us more with the childhood friend, you know what I'm saying? Because what made him go from meager hobbling good guy to psychopathic vampiric serial killer, you know what I'm saying? And I like Morbius because, like, there was a lot of Dr. Connors in a lot of his performance. Like, you could dang near like clip any of his audio files and give it to Rhys Ifans, however you say this man's name, who played Dr. Connors, and you would have thought these were the same people, just different animals, complete with rat testing. Like, I kid you not, there was some similarities I tried not to ignore, but it was kind of glaring. But I really did enjoy this movie. It was dark, it was gritty, there was no Venom style jokes, there was no humor, and I love the fact that they took themselves serious. I can't stress that enough, man. Like, a lot of people are saying this movie was a train wreck, but honestly, no, it wasn't. And I knew of Morbius due the Spider-Man 90 series, and I like Morbius. Like, I'm not gonna pretend to be a Morbius aficionado. I'm more of a Blade aficionado, to be perfectly real here. And no, it's not because he's black, but at the same time, he is black. It's just like something about Morbius and something about what they decided to do with Morbius in this freaking movie, I really do like, and let it be known, Jared Leto, you can act, and he proved it in this movie. Like, I know a lot of people could make the argument, oh, his acting was kind of stale, but no, it was not. He played dying scientists perfectly well. I really digged it, and like I said, it could be seen as too, not as expressive, what I'm saying? Like, he didn't seem to be overly emoting, and again, The guy was playing a dying character, and he had to play it straight and pretend to be dying even to the general public. So again, even there, I can kind of make an argument for him being good. But then again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this movie is trash, and maybe that's just me making excuses because I like trash Sony movies. After all, I like The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I like freaking Spider-Man 3. So yeah, do with that what you will. So yeah, maybe I have no room to talk about movies given that. But at the same time, I enjoy this movie. Now let's wrap it up with my final in-person thoughts. Alright, so my final thoughts on Morbius. Honestly, throughout the movie, it didn't really feel slow to me. Like, everything kind of felt decently paced, but like I said, the doctor seriously could have needed more development with his friend. And that's why I feel like the biggest problem was there was no real connection between the villains, at least that I felt. It's like we got a little bit with when their childhood, and then we got some kind of friendshipy kind of thing when they were adults. But like I said, it was just too little. It wasn't enough development there. Like, again, I wanted to just ignore it and brush it off and just be a fan of the character, be a fan of the movie. But it was the only problem I saw that was really glaring to me. Like, the CGI was fine. To be honest, I'm not one of those kind of dudes be like, oh my god, the CGI. Like, who cares? As long as the story's good, we can look past that. Just look at Superman and Lois. Like, it's not Zack Snyder level, clearly. Like, but it's doing the best. Like, so all in all, a good movie, a solid movie. Like, to me at least. Maybe I'm one of the few crazy people who enjoy the movie, but to me it was really good. They handled all the characters well, at least to me, and it felt the place really good. Again, the only thing that fell off to me was the villain, because again, there was no connection. It just felt like evil Morbius. You know what I'm saying? It just felt like evil Morbius. It can't just be me. But yeah, man, let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you really did enjoy this movie. Let me know if you saw the movie and if I spoiled it or not. Oopsie. I mean, spoiler alert, the villain dies. What a shock. You know what I'm saying? I will say the development between him and his love interest was kind of, it was hit or miss for me. She seemed a little bit too chill when it came to everything that was going on in the movie. Like, she seemed a little bit too accepting of all of it. And then again, they are in a universe with Clintar, and so that's neither here nor there. So that's fine, I guess. It's not too crazy. I mean, if I see Venom on the news, or if I live in a world where aliens roam the earth and spider people do as well, pretty sure it's not that big a deal. So I'm gonna give her that. But at the same time, yeah, this doctor was so harmless and nice and kind, and he killed a boat full of mercenaries. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, yeah, okay, sure, I can let that slide for the most part. It's just something I noticed, you know. So yeah, I did like how they kind of teased her character and what would happen to her, because I kind of figured she would become a vampire either by this movie or the second one. And what a shock, she became a vampire. Like I said, she seemed too into it, you know. So yeah, that's neither here nor there. There was no real build up to why she would want to become a bloodsucker, you know. There was no real development there at all. It was just like, oh, that looks cool. How does it feel? You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, that's just my final thoughts. I had to rank this movie. You know what? I enjoyed it enough to where I could give it an 8 out of 10. Like, I really did enjoy it that much. And again, it's not just because I'm an edgelord, but that is a factor. So yeah, 8 out of 10 in my opinion. Really good movie. Like I said, I like Spider-Man 3. So, hey man, crucify me if you want to. We out.